Hey, Frugal friends, what's going on? It's the Frugal Father here. I am here today to talk to you guys about the lessons and observations I learned, even as a kid, of how my grandparents saved money and instilled that in me with my twist on a few things in today's video. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing that they did was they saved money. Guess what? We still have to save money today. More importantly today, because inflation is out of control. Okay, so savings, we got to do it, right? But how we do it is we look for high yield savings accounts earning 4% or more, because that's what they're paying these days, or ladder CDs. Make that interest while you can, because we don't know where rates are going to go. But don't just stick it in a savings account and let it accumulate little interest. Number two, they didn't eat out. I mean, they did not eat out. If they ate out, it was rare. Like, I swear, I feel like the snow had to be coming down or something, because they just didn't. And that was okay, because guess what? They lived a long, good life because they were making things from scratch. They had their own garden. They were growing things. So they taught me gardening skills. They taught me how to make different things with little bits that you had, and you could make lots of things. My one grandmother, she made she called it like the Depression cinnamon cake. It is like 5, maybe 6 ingredients. We still make it for breakfast. We eat it for breakfast. It's super simple to make. So that's something that one of the life skills that they taught. Another thing was, of course, going to the grocery store. They went to more than one grocery store. They went to 2, sometimes 3, for the sales. They, looked at the sales. They had their list. They had their coupons, and that's what they bought. They may walk the aisles for exercise, but they weren't sitting there like, oh, pick this up, oh, I'll grab this. And then before you know it, your grocery bill that you probably budgeted for maybe $50 or $60, if you did all those things of grabbing this, or, oh, this looks good, could have gone up easily to $100. They stuck to that, and they walked down to there with what they needed only. I do the same thing to this day. I make a list, whether it's, most of the time it's still on paper, but you can use your phone. And I still use coupons, and I set a budget. So when I was trying to get out of debt, I would just use cash. And that was it. I didn't use a card. I didn't use anything like that. Whatever cash I had, that's all what we were getting. That's all we were buying. So then we use the different savings apps. So like Ibotta, Checkout 51, Receipt Hog, and Fetch are the ones we use to help us save additional money as well. And of course, the digital coupons at the grocery store and the club card savings. So all those things add up. Even though inflation is still pretty high, that's how we're trying to keep our cost down and as low as possible. They used everything up. I mean, everything. They used it, they reused it, and that's something we do as well. We're making sure that, we're using up all of the food in the house that we buy. We're making sure that the clothes that we have, we are using it until it starts to get a hole in it. Making sure that, use the tires until they can't be used anymore. Your car battery, things like that. Use it, of course, until there's a safety issue, but use it up. Don't say, well, it's out of style, or, I don't like the color anymore, or something like that. My grandparents did not change decor in their house. I mean, maybe curtains. That's about it. I think my grandmother made those curtains. So they were just happy with what they had. And they kind of bought staples, things that just lasted kind of the test of time. They had maybe a few things that maybe were, in style at the time or whatever, but no, I mean, they used everything and saved everything. Twisty ties from bread. Actually, I still do that too. That's a good way to keep twisty ties. Rubber bands. If stuff comes in the mail with rubber bands on it or whatever, keep it. So they used, trash bags from the grocery stores for trash bags in the trash cans. We still do that too. So we're not spending money on trash bags. We recycle a lot. They recycled and composted. So that was great things that they did. They made sure that they paid cash for everything. They did not have credit cards. Even when they came out, they didn't get those. Today we have to pay with some things online with credit cards. So, but making sure that you have that money when that bill comes in at the end of the month, that you can pay that credit card off. So that way you don't get into debt and you only are buying what you can afford. That was a big thing. Another thing that they did was they had skills. So they had skills of painting, of building, of sewing, of cooking, all those basic skills they had. And we need to make sure that we have them and we're teaching the next generations about those skills. So teaching them about budgeting, teaching them about growing a garden, teaching them about at least sewing on a button, teaching them about how to maintain a yard, paint your walls, things like that. Simple things that you can do that aren't going to cost an arm and a leg if you have to hire somebody to do it. Because I don't know about you, but when I've called for a few quotes for things, they've been outrageous. I said, no. I said, we're going to try. We're going to look on YouTube and we're going to read a blog or we're going to do something and we're going to figure it out if I wasn't taught it. So that's another thing. It's just trying to learn a small skill. Do that. Using the library. They took us to the library. We go to the library still, but the library has come up from years ago. It has come 20%, or sorry, not 20%, 200% greater than it was back in the day. They have teachers that can help tutor. They have, a million things online, all for free. You can go and get passports done at the library. They have crafts at the library. They have STEM stuff at the library. They have book clubs. They bring in speakers. There's a ton of stuff to do at the library. So if you have a local library, please go check it out. Go online to their sites. They have so much stuff out there. It's another great resource to have. As far as entertainment goes, they played cards with neighbors. They did a lot of lawn games and board games. And that's about it. They did occasionally go out when they retired on small little trips with the senior center. So that's another great place to, if you're eligible, check out a senior center. They have great activities there. My parents now are at the senior center, and they love it there. They have so many activities to do. So they're busy a lot of days during the week. But some things that we do for that. So we play board games. We have friends that come over. We play board games or outdoor games. And we just laugh. We'll watch different funny YouTube videos or different things online, or we'll watch a movie together. Just things like that. That's again, it's inexpensive or free entertainment, and you're having a great time and creating memories. So that was another thing, was creating those memories so that you can pass them down to future generations. Another thing that was the mindset. I don't think that they were content. So that was, I think, a big part of their mindset was contentment. We have to learn that. We're in a society now where everything is instant, right? We see the influencers online, we see products we need to buy. Everything's right there. I'm filming right here on my phone, so everything's right here in our fingertips. So we are constantly being bombarded with trending things, interesting things, stylish things. Sometimes we have to put that phone down and step away. We have to learn to be content with what we have, and we don't need to keep up, as I say, with the Joneses. It's hard. It's hard sometimes to say no, right? We all want to either be accepted or fit in, or it's gonna improve our self-esteem. But if you're content with what you have, be happy, own it. Okay. I've been in parent groups, and they're talking about, oh, let's all get together and let's all go on this amazing vacation down to the Caribbean, and it's going to be fantastic. And, everybody's getting hyped up and excited, and I'm sitting there like, I'm not spending the money. I'm not going to go. You guys have a great time. FaceTime me, message me. It's great. Do I feel like I'm missing out? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't have to wait in long lines at airports. I don't have to pay, insane hotel fees. I can find something that is just as fun for myself and my family on a budget right around the area. I can drive to it. We can enjoy it. And again, you're also setting expectations. You're setting expectations for future trips. So if you go all out on this one trip this year, people are going to expect that you're going to keep continuing to do it. So next year, if the group gets together again and says, oh, let's go on this trip again and blah, blah, blah. What are you using? Are you using cash you saved that should be used in case an emergency happens, like you get laid off or a medical bill or whatever? Or are you using that credit card that you shouldn't be using? So and it's okay to go. I'm not saying it's not, but the thing behind it is contentment. Just being content with what you have, where you are, and what you do. And eventually, you'll find your group and your niche and your groove, and everything will be great. But trust me, your friends will still be there. So the last thing I'll leave you guys with is living a frugal lifestyle, living a minimalist lifestyle, whatever you want to call it or label it, is do small steps to get you to where you want to be. You can do it. Learn contentment, happiness, small steps, and give yourself grace and rewards as you continue on this journey. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Like, comment, and share your frugal tips, what you learned from your family, and follow for more videos. Take care.